Welcome, fellow citizens of YouTube. I am Based, and today we are gonna talk about the strategic importance of Vuhledar. As you might have noticed, the Russians have had their focus set on Vuhledar in the south for the last couple of weeks, and they've used thousands of soldiers trying to capture Vuhledar, and they've lost hundreds at least, if not thousands, and tons of vehicles trying to capture this small town in southern Ukraine. So why are they doing that? I'll explain it to you. Look, Vuhledar is a pretty small town in southern Ukraine, right on the front line, next to Donetsk. It's pretty much a fortress. It's got high ground, you can't see it on the map right now, but it's got pretty good high ground, and it's got pretty good buildings to defend against attacks. Vuhledar is also situated behind a river, which of course creates a river crossing, which is always hard for the Russians to do. And the Russians actually managed to cross the river, but even after you cross the river successfully, you still have to bring stuff over the river to supply your troops. And you can't bring it over purely by boat, so you always have crossing points, small concentrated points where there's a bridge or field bridge where you have to bring the stuff over. So if the Ukrainians are aware where this point is, and you try to cross with, for example, a battalion or platoon or whatever of tanks or other vehicles or supplies, the Ukrainians can shell this point and achieve a multi-kill. And they've actually done that. There are videos of that where the Russians are trying to cross this river with mechanized forces and the Ukrainians shelled the hell out of them. So that's probably the biggest problem, next to the problem that Vuhledar is a fortress. But why are they still attacking it? And this is because this is a semicircle the Russians have formed around this area. And the Russians always attack in semicircles, because the Russians are also attacking here in Marinka. They've been attacking here for a very long time, not very successful, but they're doing it anyway, because when they finally succeed here and here in Vuhledar, they can move up this road, but I think this road would be a waste of time. They can move up this road. They don't have to cross all of these rivers here. Look, this region is full of rivers. So if they would push up here, they would have to cross all those rivers. But they can go up here, capture this small city, which will also take a decent amount of time. But if they manage to move up here, they can turn around to here, to Kurakhove, while they're coming from here. And if they besiege Kurakhove from both sides, they can just encircle this whole area, which would be pretty hard to capture for the Russians. And getting area for free is always great. That's why they are trying to use the semicircle. So they're rolling this area up by coming from here and from here. If the Russians are ambitious, they can of course go here. And then Kurakhove is only supplyable if you go over the rivers here, which then creates the same problem for the Ukrainians as the Russians have here. That's why it makes sense to go around Kurakhove, and especially because the Russians are not very successful here. They've been fighting hard here for the last 5 months, and you see they haven't really achieved much. And if they succeed with this plan, which they at some point probably will, especially they're using their more elite forces in this area. You see Marines and special purpose and naval infantry brigades. They usually deploy those forces where they're trying to attack seriously. They have the same situation here as they have here right now. So they can continually roll up from this side and capture Zaporozhye this way. This is probably their long-term strategy, because attacking frontally here is, pretty hard. Attacking frontally is always pretty hard, especially against trenches, which are all over here. So you always want to roll up so you can attack the enemy trench lines from the side, which makes the attack way more efficient. So, I guess that's why they attack Vuhledar so hard. Of all those points that are here, they could also attack Velika Novosilka, they could attack Orichiv, anything, but they're attacking Vuhledar for this exact reason. So, that's why they're wasting so many of their troops here. They're not really wasting them, they're just trying very hard to achieve something that would have a decent impact on the war. Thanks for watching the video, stay based, goodbye.